Welcome to Terra Juno Painting Stuff. On this plein air adventure, we will be creating this 14 by 14 inch oil painting of a forest creek on location. We're just outside of Thetis Lake Park, not far from the location of my Craigflower Creek painting, but today we're up creek and we're going to be painting this lovely little scene. Alright, I've got my gear on and I am going to hike into the waterfall area and start my painting process. This is my plein air buddy Emily. She is my little guardian when I come out. She lets me know if anyone or anything is close, and then she attacks them because she's got a little bit of guard dog in her. There's your baby! To get to the spot where I want to paint, I have to climb down this little hill and cross a river, which luckily was at just the right height that I didn't get my feet wet. And then climb over some rocks, through some ferns, and here we are.
Oh. I think you can see why I wanted to paint this scene. It might be a little noisy down here with the water running, but if that's the case, I'll just voice over and yeah. All right, let's get started. Here is my panel. It is a 14 by 14 inch panel. It's a little bit beat up because it's been kicking around in my car and my bag for a while, but I'm not too concerned because I'm going to be painting a rather dark scene today. Let's do the palette. I have permanent green, azo green, yellow ochre, terra rosa, burnt sienna, iron violet, ivory black, Prussian blue, ultramarine blue, blue with titanium white, fast dry white, titanium white with yellow ochre, light azo green, cadmium red medium, alizarin crimson, and dioxazine purple. I assessed the scene, trying to decide on a game plan. I decided to give it a wash of yellows and then draw using paint. Alright, I just have a wash of color down that I've mixed with a little bit of medium just to give it some strength. I'm going to be drawing in with the paint. The scene has a lot going on, so I'm trying not to focus on all the little details. When I'm first doing the drawing, I want to keep it a lot broader than what I'm actually seeing. I'm painting in some of the bright greens I see down at the far end of the gulch where the sun is hitting. One of the things that makes this scene so lovely is these moss-covered rocks. I did move a few of them around to give a better rhythm to the composition. This is a beautiful place. The first time I saw it, I was really taken by it. I knew it would be a challenging scene to paint. There's so much going on in this scene. There's something growing on every surface, and the light is constantly changing. Plus, you have rippling water, little mini waterfalls. There's so much going on. But I just couldn't resist. It was such a lovely area. The water running and the birds chirping. Even if the painting failed, I know it would still be a lovely day. Every time you go out and paint, it's a little mini adventure. Even if your painting doesn't turn out the way you want, it's always a great learning experience, and it's always great just to be outside. I find that plein air painting really informs your studio painting in a way that nothing else really does. And it really teaches you how to think on your feet and make a game plan. And also, because you're working so quickly, it sort of forces out who you actually are as a painter when you're outdoors painting. The light had switched sides in this little gully, so I decided to pack up.
I ended up leaving the painting on location for the night because I didn't feel like carrying it back up the side of this hill. I tucked it away in this nice little crack and admired how well it blended into the scenery. Alright, you stay there till I come back. It's day 2 and I'm back on location. I actually left the painting here last night, so let's see if it's still here. There's a few bugs, but it's not too bad. My painting survived the night, and I'm gonna finish this thing today. I've got my burnt sienna, very happy about that. Spending time outdoors is so good for your mind and body, and I think it's really important for artists to go out and experience nature firsthand. You get to be the first to edit the scene, you get to experience the colors, the sounds, and the smells, and this full sensory experience can't help but find its way into the work. Connecting with nature reawakens the creativity inside you. I have to confess that I'm a plein air painting addict. I need to plein air paint. Some people drink, some people smoke. I do this. Alright, it was cloudy there for a while, but I'm starting to get some sunlight back in here. So it is cloudy now, which is okay actually. I kind of like this steady light. I find that it's definitely easier to capture in this sort of environment than like the dappled, ever-changing light. Now to finish this painting. I admit I had to reassess my game plan for this painting when it clouded over. I'm glad it did though. I prefer this lighting. It made a stronger tonal pattern with everything in the scene being darker than the water. Plus, I could spend a little bit of time tinkering on the details of all these little plants. I really need to get this thing finished because I think the dog is done. I had been bribing her with snacks, but now I was out of snacks and she was done with being here. All right, I'm gonna put this down. It has been going on for far too long, but it was a lot of fun. There were a few times where I really got lost in it, but I think the fact that the
lighting's been fairly steady helps. And I do kind of like this lighting better. I liked it with the backlit, because I kept a little bit of that in there, but
Thank you so much for joining me for another plein air adventure. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you paint something beautiful. She's really into eating grass right now.